And welcome, and good afternoon or good morning, wherever you may be. I do appreciate you joining me for a Hatha yoga session here at the Y. My name is Charlie Bruce, a longtime yoga instructor. And today what we're going to be doing is enjoying an activity that dates back over 5,000 years. Back in India, when the wise men, or the rishis as they were called back then, engaged in what was called yoga. I'm quite confident that the rishis and the wise men of that era didn't really focus a lot on back bends or ab workouts or inversions. More so, they were focused on the breathing of the individuals that they worked with and the alignment of the breath in the body. What we're going to be doing today is enjoying a form of yoga, of which there are many, many. The form that we're going to be engaged in today is called Hatha yoga. And it's one of the more physical yogas where we move into the various poses and we'll spend a few seconds there. And the seconds are based on our breathing, inhaling and exhaling. So what we hope to cover today in today's session are all the major muscle groups. And that would include bending poses, twists, forward bends, back bends, inversions. So let's get started. Before we move into the various poses, what we have to my left are the props that may be available for you. If you have any issues in regards to the hips or the knees or the back, props can be extremely useful. The bolster is just that, it's a bolster for sitting on, and the purpose of the bolster is to take any stress off the knees. Often the bolster is sat on to ensure that the spinal column is nice and straight and the hips are tilted forward. That's a bolster. The block is also used to support the body. That can be placed underneath the sitting bones and again just to elongate the spinal column. And the strap, of course, is used for a variety of different poses to create balance, to also bring awareness to the chest and to the back and to the side body. Let's get started. If we move into a particular pose and you're finding it uncomfortable, then what I invite you to do, back out of the poses. Each pose has a variety of different approaches to it, and what we'll be doing is aligning ourselves with a pose that is most comfortable and most useful for you. So let's get started. I'm sitting in what's called cross-legged seated position. Sukhasana is another one. Keep in mind that what we're doing here, make sure that you remember which shin is in front and your sitting bones are fully grounded. Hands can be in mudra position, which are energy fields with the index and the thumb touching together, or they can be sitting quite comfortably in your lap. The focus of Sukhasana is to ensure that the spinal column is nice and straight, the shoulders are back and down, and the heart is open and receptive. So find your most comfortable seated position. If Sukhasana doesn't work, then I invite you to extend a leg or both legs. Sukhasana, cross-legged seated position, hands in mudra position, elongating the spine. First and foremost, let's just soften the eyelids. And in softening the eyelids, our first focus is on the breath. This beautiful process of pranayama, an activity that we take for granted from the time we're born until the time we move on. Find your rhythm with your breath. Look to inhale through the nostrils and exhale through pursed lips. If your mind begins to wander, use your third eye chakra to observe the inhalation and the exhalation phases. Inhaling, extending the navel, drawing up the pure, delicious air. Top of the rib cage, top of the lungs, and then a long, slow exhalation. Inhaling and exhaling. I invite you to find your rhythm with your breath. When you found that rhythm, when you found that flow, bring awareness to any tension or any tightness in the body. The neck, the shoulders, the upper back, the hips, the abdominals, the legs, the knees. Use the exhalation phase to observe the softness and the release of any tension. Once again, find your rhythm. Soft on the inhalation and soft on the exhalation. Two more inhalations and exhalations. Slowly open your eyes. And as we begin to move into the various poses, as is any activity, any physical activity, we want to begin with a gentle warm-up of the major muscle groups. And what we'll do is start with the upper body. Extend the hands out to the side. On the inhalation, use your gaze to follow your fingertips to the ceiling. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Rotate the shoulders again, releasing any stress on the neck and the shoulders. And let's wake up the side body, internal organs as well. Take the right hand, put it to the side. Left hand, inhale up. Exhale, side bend. Again, play around with the upper body. Take your gaze down to the floor, parallel to the earth, and up to the ceiling. Inhale, up, down, up, and extend. And again, engage the neck to the floor, parallel, and to the seat. Inhale, up, down. One more time, extending the side bend, keeping in mind what you want to do is the opposite sitting bone. Make sure that's still grounded, so we're not lifting it up. We're really extending the side bend. Inhale up. Exhale. Deepen the side bend. Deep, deep, deep. Inhale up, down, opposite side, up, and extend. Inhale up, down, rotate the shoulders once again. Beautiful. Now, sitting in Sukhasana, we don't want to sit in this pose for any length of time. So gently lift the kneecaps and change the seating position. So if the left shin was in front, put the right shin in front. Now when we move back into Sukhasana, lift up the glutes, making sure that the sitting bone is fully grounded. A grounded sitting bone is going to allow for the spinal column to elongate and the shoulders to sink down. First twisting. Take the right hand, put it behind you. Take the left hand, put it in front of the chest on the floor. On the inhalation, starting at the base of the spine, we're lifting the spinal column. Inhale up. Exhale, and let's begin our twist. And again, the twist starts at the base of the spine. Keep in mind the shoulders are parallel, as is the gaze. There's a tendency to look down on many of the twists. Keep the spinal column elongated and wake up the internal organs. Inhale, back to center and flow to the other side. Exhale. And once again, let's deepen the twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Deepen, deepen, deepen. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale, soften the shoulders, give them a good roll. Nicely done. Gently lift the knees, change the seating position once again. Sitting bones are grounded. And continuing to work with the upper body. Our next pose is called Garandasana, Sanskrit for eagle pose. Take the right hand, bring it up to 90 degrees. Take the left hand, cross it over. And if you can connect palm to palm, fantastic. If not, catch the other arm wherever it's available to you. Eagle arm pose. Now, exhale. Drop the elbows down to the chest. Beautiful. There should be an awareness. The chest and the neck, upper back. Let's bring the arms up with the inhalation. Inhale, up, 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 up. On the exhalation, push the hands away from the forehead. Exhale. Inhale, back to the forehead. Exhale, let the elbows cascade down. Gently unravel the arms. Rotate the shoulders. Let's do the opposite arm. Left arm up. Right arm crosses over. Palm to palm. Exhale. Take any tension off the upper back and the neck. Inhale up. Exhale. Hands away from the forehead. Inhale, up. Exhale, gently lower the elbows, unravel the arms. Give the shoulders a good twist. Left and right. One final upper body. Interlock the fingers, and in doing so, arms are parallel to the earth. Keep in mind which index finger you have on the top. Rotate the wrist. Inhale, up, 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 up. On the exhalation, drop the shoulders, push the palms to the ceiling. Exhale. Hold it, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, Gently lower the arms, rotate the wrist, change the interlock, rotate the wrist, inhale, up, 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 exhale, soften the shoulders, push the palms to the ceiling, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Rotate the wrist. Separate the fingers and rotate the shoulders. Backwards and forwards. Beautiful. Gently lift the knees, straighten the legs out. Going to move into what's called staff pose or Dandasana. This is a beautiful pose where we're engaging the lower back, the core, and the thighs. First and foremost, let's start with the feet. We don't want lazy feet. We don't want lazy ankles. So take your ankles and the joints and create 90 degrees. That means you're going to be taking the toes and pushing them up towards the ceiling. While the toes are up towards the ceiling, the hands are resting comfortably on the thigh. Inhale. You're straightening the spine, you're dropping the shoulders, and the heart is open and receptive. Take any light underneath the kneecaps and get rid of it. Push the legs down, engage the quads. Beautiful. Hold it to a count. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Soften the shoulders, give the legs a good wiggle. We're going to revisit that pose again and add another variable. Inhale. Elongate the spine, chest open and receptive, shoulders are back and down. Now, you've got your hands resting comfortably on the thighs. On the inhalation, what we're doing, we're going to push the legs down into the mat and we're going to attempt to lift the ankles. Inhale, up, exhale, and lift the ankles off the floor. Keep the back nice and straight, keep the heart open and receptive, and release. Inhale, lift the ankles, exhale, and release. One more time. Inhale, lift the ankles, exhale, and release. Hands to the side. That's good work on the quadriceps there, as well as the thighs. So give them a good shake. Nicely done. And while we're sitting in this pose, let's bring the bottoms of the feet together. And we'll start with our hands behind us, moving into Sanskrit term, Uttanasana. Hands are behind us. Inhale. Lift the chest. Shoulders are back and down. Your gaze is parallel to the earth. And in doing so, in the exhalation phase, the knees, let them cascade down as close to the mat as possible. Inhale. Up. Exhale. Beautiful pose for the hips, for the inner thighs. 3, 2, 1. Exhale and release. Extend the legs. Give them a good shake. We're going to revisit Baddha Konasana. Another variable. Once again, bottoms of the feet are brought in. This time, pull the heels towards the groin or the groin towards the heels. It's entirely whatever works for you. And on the inhalation, we're lifting the chest once again. And on the exhalation, we're bringing the hands forward and we're going to open the arches of the feet. Inhale, up. Pull the heels even tighter. Exhale. Opening the arches with the thumbs. Spine is elongated, shoulders are back and down, and the knees are getting as close to the earth as possible. 2 more breaths. Exhale and release. Gently lift the legs, extend the feet, give them a good massage. Lovely. One final cross-legged seated position, and we're going to continue to work with the lower back and the hips. Find your most comfortable Sukhasana position. Hands are in front of the shoulders. Inhale. Lengthen the spine, our first forward fold. And the fold begins at the base of the spine. Inhale, up. Exhale. Spine is nice and elongated. Use your hands and your fingertips to walk the spine as close to the earth as possible. We're seeking our personal edge in doing so. Spine is nice and straight. When you can go no further, one final exhalation. Release any tension, shoulders, neck, and let the head cascade down to the earth. And breathe. Two more breaths. Inhale. Begin our journey back, but it starts with a head. Reverse the journey. Reverse the process. Use the hands. Keep the spine nice and straight as you move it back into vertical position. Beautiful. Gently lift the legs. Extend them. Give the hips and the legs a good shake. We're going to revisit that pose again, but with the opposite shin in front. And here we go. Sitting bones are grounded. Hands are in front of the shoulders. Inhale. Up comes the chest. Shoulders are back and down. And let's begin our journey. Once again, it's the base of the spine where the journey begins with a straight spinal column. Hands are moving forward, seeking our personal edge. And when we found it, one final exhalation, head, neck, and shoulders cascade to the earth. Two more breaths. Inhale, up comes the head. And we reverse the journey. Beautiful pose for the back, upper back. Gently lift the legs. Give them a good shake. And from sitting poses, we're going to move into saying good day to our abdominals. So bring the heels in into the sitting bones as tight as possible. Feet are hip width apart. Spine is nice and straight. Now let's take the hands on the outside of the legs, palms are facing one another. And first things first, we're going to start with the right leg. This is going to encourage you to find your balance point on the tailbone. So the right leg comes up and down, and the left leg up and down. Right leg up and down, left leg up and down. Now we get to challenge ourselves. The right leg comes up and the left leg comes up. Finding your balance to a count of 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up, cross the legs. Exhale, into forward fold. Counter pose. You want to stretch the lower back. Deep, deep, deep. Inhale, the head comes up. Use the hands to lengthen the spine. Beautiful. Gently lift the legs. Extend the feet. And let's just roll down into supine position. Beautiful. Feet are hip width apart. Hands are out to the side. Give the hips a good wiggle. Lovely. Core, abdominals, beautiful strength in the muscles. Feet are flat on the floor. And let's do a pelvic tilt. Let's wake up the small of the back first and foremost. And your eyes are closed using your third eye. Small of the back is in contact with the mat. And find your normal rhythm with your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Consciously, next inhalation, lift the navel to the ceiling. Inhale up and down. Inhale up and down. Inhale one final time, navel to the ceiling, and exhale. Beautiful. Now we're ready to say good day to our abdominals. Take the right leg, cross it over. Take the left leg, bring it up to 90 degrees, and to help it, interlock the fingers behind the hamstrings of the left leg. Inhale, up comes the left leg to 90. Capture the back of the leg. Let's not forget you've got a 90-degree angle with the ankle and the toes pointed out the back. Let's do our first roll up. Vertebra by vertebrae, we're rolling up from the base of the spine, and we're going to attempt to put our nose on our knee. Here we go. Inhale, up, 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 up. Exhale, vertebra by vertebrae. We're unraveling, lowering the left leg, removing the right leg, both legs on the mat, and give them a good wiggle. Both feet flat on the floor. And take the left leg, cross it over the right leg. Right leg needs to come to 90 degrees. Let's help it out, interlocking the fingers behind the thigh, and pull that right leg to 90. Beautiful. Now, let's roll up the spinal column, vertebra by vertebrae, and see if we can put the nose on the knee. Here we go. Inhale, up, up, up. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Vertebra by vertebrae, lower the right leg, unravel the left leg. Both feet flat on the floor. Give the hips a good massage. And push yourself up into seated position. Nicely done. We're going to move from seated position into table pose. How I find most comfortable getting into table is to go into Sukhasana, cross-legged seated position, and then tilt yourself forward. However you can get into table, it's entirely up to you. Beautiful. We're all going to end at the same point with the hands under the shoulders, big wide fingers, and the knees are under the hips and the tops of the feet are flat on the floor. And your gaze is down. As with many yoga poses, they're named after items and objects in nature. Our next pose is called cat-cow. And on the inhalation, we're lifting the spinal column to the ceiling and saying good day to our feline friend, the cat. Inhale, vertebra by vertebrae, up, 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 up. On the exhalation, collapsing the vertebrae, moving into cow. The navel's heading towards the mat and the gaze head towards the ceiling. Cat-cow. Find your own rhythm, using the breath to assist. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And one more time. Inhale into cat. Exhale back into neutral position. Beautiful. And we're going to move into our first balance pose. I'd like to demonstrate what that's going to look like, and then we'll do it together. We're going to extend the left arm parallel to the earth and thumb pointed towards the ceiling, and we're going to extend the right leg, toe pointed towards the earth. What we're striving for is to attempt to make sure that the arm and the leg are parallel with the earth. Your gaze is down, and a line of energy from the fingertips of the left arm crossing the shoulder down the hamstrings of the right leg and exiting the right foot. Back to center. Stabilize yourself. Right arm, left leg. Inhale, exhale, and extend. 2 breaths. Back to neutral position. We're going to do this. 2 inhalations and exhalations on both sides, creating rhythm and creating flow, allowing the breath to dictate the smoothness of this particular pose. Keeping in mind, we don't want to leave the pose until we're rock solid in it. Let's start. Left arm, right leg. Inhale, exhale, and extend. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Exhale back to center. One more time, each side. Inhale, exhale. Back to center. Final shift. Inhale, exhale. Back to center. Beautiful. Back to table. From table, we're going to sit back into what's called balasana, or child's pose. Gently let the tailbone cascade back in between the heels, the hands are in front of the shoulders. Exhale, let the forehead drop to the mat. Release any tension in the shoulders, neck. Beautiful stretch for the hips. Now our next inhalation. Let's pull ourselves back into our feline friend, the cat. Inhale. Exhale into cow. Inhale into cat. Exhale back into neutral position. Beautiful. Bring yourself up on your knees. Hands are on the hips. Spine is nice and elongated. Tops of the feet are flat on the floor. And this is where the block can come in to support you. We're going to do our first real back bend. So the block can be back here. So we're in this position. The beauty of the back bend is that you're engaging the hips and the chest more so than the actual small of the back, making sure the glutes are actively engaged. On the inhalation, up. On the exhalation, you're pushing the navel forward, tops of the feet, squeezing the glutes and coming down. And touching the heels if that's available, or touching the block. Back bend. 3, 2, 1. Use the core to pull yourself up. Beautiful. And from that pose, inhale, up. Exhale, we're coming forward and immediately cascading back into child's pose. This is a beautiful counter pose to stretching the back. You really want to sink as deep in between the heels as possible. Lovely. 2 more breaths. Let's pull ourselves into cat. Inhale. Up, up, up. Exhale into cow. Inhale into cat. Exhale into neutral position. Beautiful. Gonna move into a side twist. Come up on the knees. Hands are on the hips. Take the left foot, extend it out to the side. Hands are on the hips. Take the left hand, slide it down the left leg. The right arm. Inhale up. Exhale. Side bend to the left. Play around with the gaze. Observe the left leg parallel to the earth or looking overhead. Inhale, up, down. Exhale, fold forward. Come back up on the knees. Hands are on the hips. Extend the right leg out. Take the right hand, slide it down the right leg. Inhale, up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, up, down, tilt forward. And from table pose, sit back into child's pose. Two breaths. Let's pull ourselves into cat. Inhale. Up, up, up. Exhale into cow. Inhale into cat. Exhale back into neutral position. Our first inversion of the day, Adho Mukha Savasana, downward dog. The most famous of all yoga poses. Inhale, tilt forward. Exhale, curl the toes, lift the hips. Downward dog. Beautiful pose. Lifting that tailbone right up to the ceiling, a nice straight spinal column. Now, gaze back between the legs. The arches should be parallel. The knees are slightly bent. The insides of the elbows are facing one another, and you've got wide fingers, a beautiful platform with the hands. Holding. 3, 2, 1. Come down on the knees, tops of the feet. Variation of downward dog. This is called wide knee downward dog. Extend the knees out. Exhale. Take the hands, put them behind you. Let the tailbone sink between the ankles. Release any tension, shoulders, neck, and head. Wide knee child's pose. Beautiful, beautiful, deep pose. Two more breaths. Bring the hands forward. Let's revisit our feline friend. Inhale. Up, up, up. Exhale to cow. Inhale to cat. Exhale to neutral position. Revisiting downward dog again. Curl the toes. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful extension. Yes, yes, yes. Now, in downward dog, let's walk our dog. Take the left heel. Let it sink to the mat. Lift it up. The right heel to the mat. Walking our dog. Raise the right heel. Left heel to the mat and up. Right heel to the mat and up. Both heels to the mat and up. Both heels to the mat and up. One more time. Both heels to the mat. Beautiful. Come down on the knees, tops of the feet. Find your own special child's pose. Whatever works for you, whatever's going to sink that tailbone as deep towards the mat as possible. Shoulders soft, relaxed. No tension at all in the neck, upper back. 2 breaths. Bring the hands forward. Inhale into cat. Exhale into neutral position. Curl the toes. Inhale. Exhale. Downward dog. Variation, 3-legged downward dog. Power pose. Put the right foot in the middle. Inhale, extend the left leg. On the exhalation, bring that left knee to the chest. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale, back to downward dog. 2 more breaths. Knees to the mat. Tops of the feet. Cascade back into child's pose. Your choice. Whatever you find to be most relaxing. Two more breaths. Inhale. Pull yourself into cat. Exhale into neutral position. Curl the toes. Inhale. Exhale. Downward dog. Revisit the opposite side of downward dog. 3-legged downward dog. Left foot in the middle. Inhale. Exhale with the right leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, back into downward dog. Beautiful. Stabilize yourself. Lift that sitting bone, nice straight spinal column. And drop down on the knees and back into child's pose. Your choice. Hands forward. Next inhalation, pull yourself into cat. Up, up, up. All the way down into cow. Up into cat. Back into neutral position. Beautiful. Curl the toes. Coming into standing pose via downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Step forward with the left foot. Beautiful. Make sure that left knee is over the left heel. Nice straight extended right leg. Your gaze is down. Four-legged downward dog. Step forward with the right foot. Feet are under the hips. Exhale, forward fold. Grasp the elbows. Gonna begin our journey up vertebra by vertebrae. Inhale. As you stack the vertebrae on top of one another, extending the fingers to the ceiling, take your gaze, follow the fingertips. Exhale to heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Knees are slightly bent, inside arches are parallel. Release any tension, shoulders, neck, and head. Inhale, straight back variation, slightly touching the shins of the knees. Your back is parallel. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat. Step back with the left foot. Step back with the right foot into downward dog. Beautiful. Step forward with the right foot. Once again, the knee over the ankle. Energy out through the left heel. Good balance point, hands underneath the shoulders. Step forward with the left foot. Exhale, forward fold, grasp the elbows, knees are slightly bent. And let's begin our journey up, vertebra by vertebrae. Releasing the elbows, stacking the vertebrae. Arms towards the ceiling, following the fingertips. Exhale to heart center. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, straight back variation. Exhale, forward fold. Come into squat position. Sit back. Moving into Savasana, corpse pose. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful session. Lovely balance pose, strength pose, inversions, twists, forward folds, side bends. Lovely, lovely. Extend the legs out on the mat. Feet are hip width apart. Hands are out to the side, palms are facing the ceiling. As we began our session together today, bringing awareness to the breath, this beautiful process of pranayama, so too will we end our time together using your third eye, observing the inhalation and the exhalation. Take your awareness down to the toes and the ankles. Flex and release. Traveling up the legs to the calves. Flex and release. Powerful hips. Flex and release. Abdominals, chest and back. Exhale and soften. Chest and shoulders. Flex and release. Forearms, biceps, triceps, and wrists. And soften. Facial features. Grimace and release. And enjoy the next few minutes in this beautiful pose. In celebration. In celebration of yoga and your well-being. It's time to begin our journey back. And in doing so, bring awareness to the breath. Observe the inhalation and the exhalation. Consciously lifting the navel to the ceiling, drawing that delicious breath, top of the lungs, and a long, slow exhalation. Allowing the navel to touch back to the spinal column. Finding your rhythm, inhaling and exhaling. When you found your rhythm, bring your awareness down to the toes. Give the toes a good wiggle. To the ankles. Rotate the ankles. To the calves. Flex and release. Flex and release. Powerful thigh muscles. Squeeze and soften. Squeeze and soften. The glutes, the hips, give them a good wiggle. Tighten them and then release them. Abdominals, core muscles, squeeze, tight, tight. Exhale. and soften. Powerful chest muscles. Inhale, tight. Exhale and soften. On the inhalation, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale and release. Take your awareness out to the fingers. Give them a good wiggle. Make a fist. Rotate the wrist. Wiggle the fingers. Biceps, triceps, and forearms. Squeeze. Tight, tight, tight. Exhale and soften. To our shoulders on the next inhalation, pull the shoulders to the ears. Inhale up. Exhale and release. To our facial features, chin, lips, cheeks, eyebrows, forehead, crown of the head, grimace, tight, tight. Exhale and soften. Rotate the head left to right, right to left. Pull the knees up to the chest, hands around the shins. Give the hips a good massage. Over to the left, over to the right, left, right. One final twist to the right side, fetal position. Hands underneath the head, knees to the chest. Two more breaths. Extend the left leg, push yourself up, and let's reconnect in Sukhasana. Hands to the side. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time, meet in heart center. Inhale up. Exhale. Namaste. The spirit within me honors the spirit within you. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day.